Hi everyone, just going to do another Should I Fly It for X-Wing today. So I'm going to do a brief overview of the triple defender list now that, you know, Imperial Veterans should be on sale tomorrow. Fingers crossed. Hope Canada Post doesn't screw me over. Well, probably because it's me. But there we go. So triple defenders are going to be a thing as soon as veterans are released. The shuttle does get some good buffs from veterans, but defenders are what people are going to be focused on. It's such an iconic ship for a lot of X-Wing players, myself included. I've been trying to make it work for a while. I had a little bit of success running a two-ship list with Rexler and Vessery, but it not been quite there, and so the two new titles should add a lot of value to it. So the pros of running the list is one, you get to fly defenders and they're awesome. So definitely you can end the video now. You should fly defenders. Cons are they're still a relatively finesse platform. The 3-hull, 3 shields behind the 3 green dice can be very resilient, but they do tend to get chipped away at, which is why the list I'm doing features 2 with the X7 title, just to try and prevent that from happening. Also, as you can see, we all know a defender dial, those greens on the straights are pretty strong, but those reds on the 1 and 2 turn are pretty weak. So overall, I think the dial benefits the defender slightly with the white K, but it's very predictable if you need to change your approach and you can't fit those banks in, so it can struggle to knife fight a little bit. It's enough on the platform. The list I'm looking at, just messing around, is the Department of Motor Vehicles, so Delta, Merrick and Vessery. So just a little bit of fun. I don't think this is the most competitive way of building the list, but it's got a funny abbreviation, so that's more important. But Delta Squadron is to be an annoyance and a blocker, and at 28 points you might think that it's quite expensive to be a blocker, but it's actually got a massive amount of raw efficiency. The innate evade that it'll get, even if it swams into someone and bumps, it's still getting the evade token for going above speed 3, and it's still going to output damage. It's still got 3 attacks. The platform itself is pretty solid, so that's a good choice, I feel, in quite a few different lists. Merrick is in with Crackshot, just to make the abbreviation work, in honesty. I really like the new Merrick in the Defender. It's how he should have been, but we'll see how much play he sees. I really want the Flechette cannon, the Mangler cannon. Obviously it doesn't work with the TIE title, so you don't want to build around his ability too much. Just if it gets those crits in, you can crack shot to get it through and do the extra damage that way, but it's not what it's about. And then it comes to Vessery. He should be doing the majority of the donkey work, taking the TIE title and the Flechette cannon. I know people have been harping on about the tractor beam on him, but I feel like even though it's only 1 point of damage, I'd rather put that damage through on the ship and make it easier for Delta Squadron to hit, especially in this list. Maybe if you were going to adaptability Merrick down to 6, you could then look at taking the tractor beam instead. But Vessery in this platform, it's going to output a consistent amount of damage. It should have target lock provided by either Delta or Merrick himself, and I feel like he's going to do a lot of work. He is the weak link of the list because he does not have the X7 title, so people will just focus him down. So you've got to try and hang him back a little bit, make sure you're getting the engagements at the correct ranges for yourself. But it'll do work. So flying against the 3 defender list, I've seen a couple of posts on the FFG forum, how are people going to tackle it. I feel like you don't want to necessarily clump your forces and give them an easy approach. If you can force them to have to reposition a lot and get inside that 3 turn, then they do struggle. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but that's the way you want to try and outfly the list, is get within that turning circle, and then you should be okay. You can cut inside a lot easier than they can, and just don't get too downhearted about it. You're gonna have the X7s are gonna prevent a little bit of damage each round. So if you can, against this type of list, for example, you do just kill Vessery and then put everything you can into Merrick, then everything you can into a Delta. And it's going to be annoying because that Delta is going to be in your face blocking. It's not going to be necessarily an easy matchup for a few different lists, especially if the green dice are on fire, but that's the way it's going to be. I feel like they do get outflown by aces, so I don't think this kind of list is going to knock Pulp Aces off the top spot. U-boats, they're relatively predictable in their approach, so a skilled U-boat player should be able to get the torpedoes off against them. The protons should hurt, so the plasmas should get the shields down. But they've got enough hull and the inbuilt evades that if you can get at least 2 of your defenders through, then you might still win. Depends how quickly you burn down that first one. If you can get 1 dead in the second round before it fires, and I feel like you've got a good matchup there. And Rebels, this list will burn down a Ghost extremely quickly, but it might struggle to catch a dash because you've not got the pilot skill to get around him. But you can kind of get the Delta in some good positions, but dash is a hard matchup for this list. That's about it. If you've got any thoughts on the list, just throw some comments up. Try and have a bit of a back and forth on there. And I'll see you all again soon, guys. Thanks.